Hello, 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 everyone. I am so excited to be hosting the Happy Co Zoom this evening. My name is Brian Heflin, and I am on this Zoom from my home in Puerto Rico. And it's so exciting that I'm able to be here hosting this Zoom because for the last 60 days, it's been a whirlwind in my life. I'm actually moving to an island from the mainland has had a lot of challenges. But I am so excited to be a part of this business because if I wasn't in this business, it wouldn't have been possible. And I want to share with everyone what we're going to share with you this evening is an opportunity for you to hear what the Happy Co can also do for you and your families. This isn't about me. We have some incredible individuals here on this Zoom that are going to share their stories with you of what's happened for them since they've been affiliated and a brand partner with our company. But let me just share with you how I ended up here. I've been an entrepreneur for my entire life. Started my first business at the age of 19 years of age. And I realized at that time that I was unemployable because when you work for yourself, you can't, you're so used to coming and doing things that you want to do in your own time frame. I realized that I would have been the worst employee. And so what happened for me, I met someone many years ago when I was introduced to this industry, and he says, Brian, you can be successful if you find out where people are going and get there first. And I used that when I started looking for business opportunities because you want to find out where people are going. You want to find out where the trends are. And if you position yourself in front of those trends and you have to take action and you have to do work, you will be successful. And that's what we're doing here with the Happy Co. We're capitalizing on a major trend. And that trend is online digital business. Now, I'm going to say that again, an online digital business. And why is that important, especially what's just happened in the marketplace over the last 2 years? An online digital business allows you to do business from any place in the world as long as you have an internet connection. Now think about how valuable that is. Now I was just reading a statistic here, a study just recently within the last few weeks that said companies and businesses that are not online with a digital business will be blockbustered. Think about that. We know what happened to Blockbuster. We know what Netflix did to Blockbuster. They will be blockbustered within the next 24 to 36 months. So this is essential. Now, what we've done, we've capitalized with this industry in an online digital business with our company, the Happy Co. Now, have we had success? Well, you tell me. We're in our 4th year, over $200 million in sales. 200 million. Now that's what attracted me. I mean, I'm a numbers guy. I've been self-employed. I was looking for an opportunity that with an expanding company that provided all the tools that was necessary for me to just come in and plug into a system. And that's really what separates us from any companies out there in the marketplace because we have a system. You don't have to be a salesperson here. All you have to do is be excited and share your story. Now, I'm going to ask everyone in the chat, I'd like a little participation this evening. We're going to be here for about 15, 20 minutes. Let me ask everyone, if we have parents on this Zoom this evening, I'm going to ask everyone a question and you can put this in the chat. I know if you're a parent, what is the most important person in your life? I'm sure if it's your children, put a number 1 in the chat. If you're a parent on the line, if it's a spouse, put a number 2 in the chat. Okay, so I already see people putting 1s on the line, 2s, spouses, children. And I like to ask everyone, I appreciate your participation. I love this. 1s and 2s. Okay, many 1s because I know parents are going to say their children, right? And then we have Kurt says 1 and 2. I love that. Well, let me share something with you, ladies and gentlemen. I respect that you're saying 1 if you have children, 2 spouse, and 1 and 2, but the most important person in your life should be you. Think about that. not your children. I mean, your children are important, but the most important person in your life should be you. Why? Because if you're taken care of and you're happy, and that's what we're going to talk about this evening, if you're happy and you're fulfilled, then you can show up as the best person, best parent, the best spouse, the best friend, the best coworker. You could show up. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about giving you the opportunity to show up. And that's what our products allow you to do. You know, I mean, who doesn't want more happiness? I raised my hand. I wanted to be happy. Okay. That's what the products did for me. I wasn't always this happy. Let me be honest with everyone. Okay. I mean, I had my days. I mean, I used to be grumpy sometime. Why? Because I'm also a property owner. And it's no fun when you're always going to court, evictions and things, because when you're a property owner, your tenants don't pay rent all the time and they don't pay in a timely manner. And so I was the grumpy old property owner. You know, I would talk to my managers. I was the grumpy old guy, you know, who paid their rent, who didn't pay their rent. But now, after I started getting on the happy coffee, my manager said, Brian, what's changed? Because when the tenants didn't pay their rent, it just rolled off of my shoulders. What it did, it helped me be able to manage my stress better. So that's what the product did for me. Help me manage that stress better. Now, another field market we have availability is who's at their ideal high school weight? Who's at their high school weight? Okay, okay, all right, I love it, okay? Because our products also not only help you be happy, but we have incredible stories of people that are getting back to their high school weight. Think about that, getting back to that high school weight. Now that's exciting. Another market we're in is sleep. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate that over 70% of Americans don't get a good night rest. And we have a product for that, our Unwind. Sleep like a baby. And the next day you wake up, you are refreshed and you have more energy than you can imagine. So again, our product categories, again, we have coffee, tea, lemonade, hot chocolate, Unwind. We just moved into another multi-billion-dollar industry, which is skincare. We have a skincare product. Who doesn't want to be happier and look younger? Okay, all right, okay. So what we have products to help you feel great and look great. Now, when you've got great products, expanding marketplace, and again, we just opened 28 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in the United States, Canada, Europe, and Asia Pacific. 28 countries in our 4th year of business. So we're not only in the United States, we're expanding globally around the world. Now, what I like to do is we have a few ladies here on the Zoom this evening, and I'm so excited for them to be able to share their stories and what's happened for them, because this is what we do. We become happy and we just share our happiness and share our stories. So I'm going to go out to Washington. I have 3 incredible women that I've had the opportunity to get to know. And first, I'm going to call on Ginger. And Ginger, do you mind sharing with everyone what our products have done for you? Because your background, your professional background, just share with everyone a little bit about you and what the products have done for you, please.
Sure. Well, for me, I kind of came in from a different door. I came in for the business originally. I've always been, a believer in multiple income streams, and I'm an insurance advisor. And so in my insurance world, I understood the power of residual income. And for those real quick that are on the Zoom that might not understand, it's like my husband makes good money hourly. If he's not on the job site, he's not getting paid. So, but residually, I might spend 2 or 3 hours with someone, make $20 with insurance. but next month I'm going to make that $20 when they pay their insurance, right? So over time that builds and builds and builds. And so I understood the power of that residual income a long time ago. And so I was always drawn to network marketing. And when my business partners contacted me, now it's been a year, and, talked about the stats, talked about it being publicly traded. For me, that was a big deal because most network marketing companies are not publicly traded. So that really got my attention. And I thought, I'm like coffee. That's not my thing. As you can see, that's changed a little bit behind me, but I looked at it from business eyes. I also own a bar, but I don't drink. I was smart enough to be able to look at it as a business. And so I came in, quickly fell in love with nootropics. I had already been on some really high quality products in the past, so I really didn't think I was going to see much of a difference. But all of a sudden, I wasn't white knuckling my happiness anymore. When I got to the gym, my endorphins were already kicked in. So I was getting an hour workout instead of 45 minutes because I was already ready to go. But the business part of it surprised me so much because what took me 5 years to build in my other business only took me 5 months with this company. And I wasn't able to bring those people over. So I went, wow. And what's the difference? And the difference was that it's a product that everybody knows coffee, or tea or cocoa. It was such a simple product to share, and a product that people got pretty much immediate results from. And, one of the first times that I noticed it, I was day 10 and I went over, I had this little thing on my counter and I opened it up and I saw something in there that I used to take for stress. And I was like, I hadn't forgotten that in 3 years. I couldn't believe it. My husband stood there looking at me like, what's wrong? I'm like, I haven't taken this in 10 days. And he's like, and him not knowing what a big deal that was, but I knew that was just weird that I hadn't taken that in so many years. So, I immediately gave it to, my mom and all these different people in my world. And I got to see things in their joint discomfort change within days. And every time I would go like, there's no way. So I really got into nootropics and seeing all those differences. But one of those guinea pigs I want to bring on, Lea, if you want to unmute yourself. Lea actually works for me at the bar that I own. So I've known her for about 9 years now. And I was able to help her digestively and with a lot of things with what I call God's pharmacy with nootropics, but I was never able to help her with, the mental things that she was always battling. And so she was the first one. So I was like, okay, you got to try this happy coffee stuff. I don't even know what I got myself into, but you got to try it. And she walks into my office the next day and she's bawling. I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, I've never felt so good in my life. And I go, well, then why are you crying? And she goes, I don't know. And there for a minute, I was like, well, don't tell anybody that it's from my happy coffee or no one's going to want it. But, she just had this massive transformation. But even that day, I never would have thought in a million years it was going to turn into what it has now, almost a year later for her. So Lea, if you want to talk a little bit about, some of the other things that it did to change your life and why you're here still now doing this as a business with me. Because you are an unexpected business partner. We'll say that.
Okay, yeah, thanks for having me and thanks for having me to share my story. Like she said, I was a bartender and I worked for her, and I hid the fact that I suffered from depression and some other things about just where I'd gotten in my life and being in my 40s and accepting the fact that I was overweight and tired and overworked. And I just thought that that's the way life was supposed to be. And then COVID hit. And I lost my job and I was really upset. And then Ginger came along with the happy coffee and told me she wanted to try this coffee. So like she said, I had my first cup of coffee and it was like a firework explosion in my brain. It's the only way I can explain it. And it turned the lights on. It turned something on, because from that moment, it was a domino effect in my life. It was like, I felt good and I didn't know why. I also was one of those people who was addicted to 5-hour energy drinks, and I wasn't needing those and I wasn't needing the extra energy, and I just felt so good and so happy. And I just could not believe how good I was feeling. I was making better choices for myself emotionally, better choices with my food. Next thing I knew, I was losing weight. People were asking me about what I was doing. And Ginger had approached me about doing this as a business because I'm a bartender. And so I didn't think I could do it. And I thought, well, I don't have a job and I want to pay for the product. So let's go ahead and give it a try. And it was so easy to share my story and the products with people and the way it was changing people's lives. It became a lifestyle for me and it's completely transformed me. I remembered that I was an athlete and I'm now down 65 pounds and I've maintained it. I'm down into my pre-baby clothes, which is super exciting for me because not about it being just about the weight loss. I'm able to do things that I haven't been able to do with my family in years. Sorry, but I'm participating and I'm being part of life again. And that's just really huge for me. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who feel like they get stuck and there's nothing that they can do. They know there's something they want to do, they just don't know how. Something about these products and what happens in your brain and turns on your happy hormones and you let those be in charge, you can do amazing things that you never thought was possible. It's just getting that motivation, and something about these products does that for you, and it, you know, talks yourself into doing what's right for you and what makes you feel happy every day. So I'm sharing the products and helping change lives, and I love where I'm at now a year later. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And now she made platinum. We were just trying to help her make $200 a month to pay for product. And next thing you know, she's scaling down to 20 hours a week at the bar. So now I got to find someone else because she's making money with Happy Co. But, you know, we talk a lot about the product of the benefit of the benefit, you know, and so she's lost the weight, but that means she gets to go, you know, parasailing when she goes to Hawaii and got to go horseback riding, you know, the benefits you get from that. And one of the people that she shared her product with, like, we love just pulling up guinea pigs, right? With our friends. And she's been friends with Charity for many years, who has had all kinds of what I would call benefits of the benefit. We would be here all night long. But Charity, if you want to share a little bit about your experience since you started taking product, because I know you sure as heck didn't expect this to work either. So I'd love if you'd share a little bit.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. It's mind blowing to me that it's been a year, right? Because I just think about a year ago and where I was sitting and how it was my lowest low. I was struggling. I had shut my insurance office down. You know, I couldn't see my family. I couldn't see my friends because of the COVID. I was coined it the COVID blues. And I was concerned because it was early and we still hadn't approached the winter blues. And for me, I've struggled with that as long as I can remember. And Leah reached out to me just a couple days after I was having this conversation in my head, like, there's got to be more to life than this. I can't sit in this, you know, this pain that I've been in mentally forever, it felt like to me. But when Leah reached out to me, my first thing was, no, thanks. I don't want to try it. I'm not interested. I don't want to see anybody. But she reached out to me the very next day and I was like, fine, Leah, I'll try it. You know, I've known her a long time. So I was like, all right, I'll stop by. Well, when I tried the Happy Coffee and the Happy Cap, I couldn't believe it. In 20 minutes time, I felt a difference. I couldn't pinpoint it. I didn't understand what was going on. I just felt a little bit lighter and I had a little bit more energy, and I hadn't felt energy in a long time. And so I told her I'd continue. Well, day 3 comes and I'm practically banging her door down because I was like, I need more of this. I feel amazing and I want to continue to feel like this. So help me out here. You know, I want more samples. And so it was day 10 when I noticed the most significant impact for me in my life. Day 10, I noticed I wasn't taking my nurse's cocktails. I would take 2 Tylenol, 4 Motrin twice a day just to take the edge off the level 5 or greater pain I had been having for the last 8 years, because I've had 3 back surgeries. And that's kind of dictated how my life was going. Every day I'd wake up and it was a different day with a different amount of pain. And I could or couldn't go do this or that. And I noticed I wasn't taking that, but I didn't feel that pain. So I didn't say it out loud. I didn't want to jinx it. Day 19 comes and I'm like, oh my God, I'm screaming it. You know, I'm just so excited because I'm not feeling that pain that I had been in for so long. Well, then 3 months comes and I'm able to throw DoorDash keys down. I'm able to stop doing things that I was despising doing during these COVID times. And I was actually able to reopen my insurance office. And then at 6 months, I'm down, 35 pounds. I'm down to the weight I was when I was in high school. And I couldn't believe it. And then, of course, I am an athlete. I've always been an athlete my entire life. And I've always had this throughout this process. It's been, Charity, you need to start doing something else besides just, sharing your happy coffee and going about your day. So I started a walking journey. And now it's like, I don't know. It's just so crazy how it just keeps getting better. Most products you try, they stop working, right? They just, I don't know if they call it, I've heard it called the placebo effect. Well, I'm a year in and I feel even better than that first couple of weeks when I first tried the product. So, it's just been an incredible journey for me. It's become more than just me drinking a cup of coffee. It's really about sharing this with people and enjoying every minute of it, enjoying the life, enjoying spending time with people that are lifting you up, being a part of a community that really does accept you where you're at and really wants to help you build. So thanks for having me on today. And I'm just so appreciative of everybody here today.
Awesome. Thank you, Charity. We, it is, I already thought it was such an amazing additional income stream to be able to have income and change lives on a daily basis, to get phone calls from people that are saying, my son hasn't been kicked out of school in a month. Like, you're the best person on the planet. It's just been such a win-win situation. But then as Brian mentioned earlier, but now to go into 28 countries. And so to be global, financially, sky's the limit. So I'm just excited to be, linked arms with all these people. They're great. And I'll leave it at that and I'll turn it back to you, Brian.
And I'm sitting here in awe. And I have so much appreciation and I am so excited for all three of you ladies and so much appreciate you sharing your stories because your stories can excite and motivate and inspire someone that sees this Zoom. And what's so wonderful about our business, that's all we do. We drink our products, we become the best version of ourselves, and we share our happiness. Because we want everyone to feel like we feel. It's so natural. We want everyone to feel great. And that's how we build our business, just sharing our story. So I really appreciate you for taking the time, but I wanted everyone to think about this before we close out the Zoom. Number one, are you living your best life? Are you becoming and are you daily being the best version of yourself? I feel our products can help you, but then there's something else with our opportunity. There's an income opportunity with this opportunity. Think about it. If it's just a few $100s a month, you can do it here. If it's a few $1,000s a month, you can achieve that here. If it's tens of thousands of dollars a month income, you can achieve that here. Think about this though. And this is what this industry did for me 30 years ago. My mentor said, Brian, do you really know what being financially free is? And I put a number on it. And I said, well, if I can earn $20,000 a month at that time, that was 30 years ago, I'll be financially free. And he says, that's not being financially free. He said, being financially free, Brian, is earning income that's residual that you can maintain your lifestyle. Think about it. Being financially free is earning residual income that you can maintain your current lifestyle, or any lifestyle that you want to live. So if you are making $1 million a year and you're spending $1.5 million, you're not financially free because you have to continue working. So whatever your figure is for you to be financially free, think about that. Ginger says from insurance, that's residual. Ginger's also in this business. Why? She's creating that financial independence. You heard from Leah. She's doing the same. You heard from Charity. See, being financially free is not having to go to work each and every day to run a business or to go to a job, to continue to earn income, to maintain your lifestyle. It's earning income that continues, you earn it month in and month out, whether you do the work or not. So that's available for everyone. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here with us this evening. Again, our products are amazing. Our community is amazing. The income opportunity is there. Get back with the person that invited you on the call this evening to Zoom and just let them know, hey, I like to try the products. Get me started. You're going to thank them for getting you on the products. And if you're two, a one is just someone that wants to try the products, but if you're a two, it's like, hey, I like to try the products and I like to become financially independent by earning that residual income. They can help you with that also. Appreciate everyone for being with us. Everyone have a great evening. This Zoom is going to be recorded. And again, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. It was my pleasure to share with you, and everyone have a good night. Good night, everyone.